Snooping.
Ada Snooping.
Namaskar. I am Kumar Akesh. Welcome to Global Governance News TV. Just we are going to discuss today snooping, the effect of snooping and global politics, as well as in India and the different parts of the world, how snooping affected the governance, public, and all. So we have today esteemed panelist, Madam Vandana Jinganji from a senior journalist
Namaskar.
and social activist from Chicago, USA. We have senior journalist from India, Sivaji Sarkar, Professor Sivaji Sarkar. He has been the I think 4 decades in the Indian journalist and worked for all the eminent and prominent group, and now is teaching media. Amish Shankarji, eminent writer, author, written more than 7 books, and organized very nice literature festival and focusing for the regional literature throughout the India and throughout the world. And we have Alok Laharji. He is a senior journalist and social activist from the Spain and Barcelona, and in, in some more guests will join later. So I'm just going to discuss the snooping. So as we know how the India has been now talk of the every day this parliament being adjourned for the name Pegasus. The Pegasus is spyware. Pegasus is that connected to the snooping. The elite surveillance of targets phones using Pegasus is the most sophisticated manifestation of snooping in India. Surveillance both authorized and unauthorized. However, it's a long history in the country and the world. If you see the India history, this is not a first time the this type of controversy we have just watching and seeing. The latest was the most widespread and sophisticated. The Pegasus storm is only the latest one. And in the past scandal, government has fallen, chief minister have resigned, CBI inquiry has been ordered, and Supreme Court has been moved. But in the many of these earlier cases, the alleged infringement of privacy and misuse of powers of interception were far less flagrant. In some cases, minuscule compared to an en masse apparent misuse that is being revealed in the global media investigation called the Pegasus Project. A spyware like no other change in the surveillance technology nowadays, just how the Pegasus work through your phone and any type of phone with the links, any links, just you push the button and that will be work on, and your phone will be the uh, just you are not saying that will just click and that will be adopted by the system. So even the no phone is secure, either iPhone they're claimed, but some experts say iPhone also not secure, and this is development from the Israel, but the Israel company has said we have not engaged as far the India concerned, and globally known we have known the story of USA, UK, and other countries also, and how the intelligence the world over always relied heavily on the listening in technology as against the human intelligence, especially for political one. But the advent of the mobile telephony, it was a conversation on telephone fixed line. They were being stopped on. If you remember, in India, the Rajiv Gandhi government, just Chandrasekhar government was just fallen due to just a phone controversy. Hegde, Ramakrishna Hegde phone tap controversy, well known, and there is so many cases. So there's the conversion on the telephone fixed line that now is the time of mobile, and those who fear they may be intercepted with the strained ears for the fame, whirring around the tape recorders or the call drops that ensued. That was a joke that if you wanted to beat the old-fashioned snoops, you made your confidential telephone uh, uh, calls very early in the morning. It is on the headphone wearing listeners who mostly belong to the IB intelligence bureau would not be reported for duty. So there are so many stories and how the Pegasus work, and Snooping years. If you see the exact year, the leading to the resignation of Karnataka Chief Minister Ramkrishna Hegde in 1988, it was the leak of the interception orders, the physical sighting of the intelligence cooperatives, which led to the fall of the Chandrasekhar government in 1991, leak of audio tapes, Tata tapes first reported by Indian Express, 1997, Radia tapes. So many journalists, eminent journalists, also in that tapes, 2010, 8 to 10, and that time the Manmohan government was there. So that time, BlackBerry was there. Now iPhone is here, and one phone scandal in the UK also we have learned. So many things now. Congress in the aggressive mode against the BJP government. The blaming game is on. So I just started this talks with Shivaji Sarkar, the leading Indian journalist. How do you analyze the whole scene, the Pegasus spyware, in context of the Indian politics? And then I'll take the USA inputs from the Vandana ji, and from Canada from Rakesh ji, and it's from Alok ji, and in between the Amit Shankar will give the some social impact. How is the socially this term? Shivaji Sarkar.
Okay, actually, Pegasus has not surprised me at all. Only the difference is that a government has used certain tools to know about people they want to know. Naturally, there is an issue of privacy, there is an issue of freedom of expression, and similar many other issues. But in reality, if you look at your mobile phone handset, you are being continuously watched by someone or other. And we never protested it. Every corporate, every app that you download, the first thing they want, that they must have access to your phone information, whatever data you have. I don't think even Ola and Uber, they want it. I wonder why they want it. Amazon wants it. Flipkart wants it. Any music video app you download, they want it. And we never protested. I've discussed this issue many a times in some corporate fora, as well as in many of the political circles, and everybody wishes it away. अरे ये क्या है इसमें क्या problem है? That is the problem. इसमें क्या problem है? If you are giving your information and that information is being sold, is being sold by telephone companies, it is being sold by every app that you are using, and you are not bothered. So why should you bother if government wants to know something about you? Even if I think it has not been a very intelligent way for the government to do that. They could have used any other app to do it. On every app, you are exposed. Whatever you are doing, whatever you are seeing is known to at least a minimum of your thousands of your unknown contacts. But that is what the political parties had never raised it. That is what all those groups who want the privacy be protected, they have never protested it. So now what the government has done, you see, espionage of the individual is part of a governance process. And if you look through the last 70 years, different governments have done it in different ways. Now Pegasus, what they have done, they have selected some ministers, their own ministers, their ministers' aides, opposition leaders, journalists, and many other important people. So do you think, even if the Pegasus had not been used, the government or the information agencies are unaware about their activities? Absolutely not. So I feel if you have to raise the issue, you have to raise this issue first. So why my phone should be penetrated by any outsider. Yes, if there is an app, I will use it. But why do they need permission to get into it? And without permission, you will not get access, even WhatsApp, even Facebook, anybody. And what they are doing is they're doing a gold mine of business with your data. The Pegasus is sensitive, I agree. It is political, I agree. But unless and until there is a global demand, not only Indian demand, that this snooping by all kinds of apps is stopped, your privacy will remain elusive. Thank you.
Alok ji, just you see the in the Indian context and how the Spanish context as well as the global context, the snooping, how they affect the polity and the daily life also. In the corporate sector, there's also there is so many spyware has been using and what should do how the, as well as we have the right to privacy and in Spain and America and other parts of the country. Simultaneously, the spyware is working the different types, but not Pegasus. That is a okay. This is a recent thing. What do you think?
I mean, what Mr. Sarkar said, this is very true. Anybody who has, 2 inches of, gray matter in his head, he knows that you are parting with your information, right, left, and center when you are downloading any app on any of the smartphones. I mean, it's as simple as that. I mean, we had this issue in India or in Europe also when we talked about, you know, the personal data it should remain with the person. There's nothing personal these days with social media on and everything. You don't have anything called personal. I mean,
Yeah,
your wife's picture are on your Facebook. Your kids' pictures are on your Facebook. You cannot use Google Maps without telling it your location. In case you want to use WhatsApp, you have to again give your phone number and you have to also tell them like where you based. I mean, for example, in case you're buying a Fire Stick, like something which Amazon is charging money from you have to tell them in which country you are so that you can download their content. Otherwise, you are so in one simple line, if we're talking about snooping by, it is not now the government don't need my data. Why would government need my data? At the most, the tax department would like to know how much business I'm doing so that I pay my taxes correctly. That's it. So why do private companies need this data? Like as Mr. Sukar said, in case you're getting something free, it could be an email, it could be a photo, service on internet. If something is free, then you are at risk. It's as simple as that. So all the information they carry, all the information, the data which you have, they will use it, analyze it, and use it to produce ads or use artificial intelligence to, try to sell you things. I don't think anybody is going to sit there and analyze all this data. This is done by robots, computers, artificial intelligence, and this data is converted and they use it basically to nourish or provide you the content which you are interested in. And for example, if I was to search for something like this, Pegasus, I get most of the information from Indian press. I will not get the Guardian or Le Monde or Washington Post because they've already profiled my interest and of course my own profile. They know what I'm looking for. Where is my interest? It's as simple as that. So now the corporates are doing it. Earlier we had heard about CIA, KGB, or the UK intelligence or the Israelis doing it, but now the corporates are doing it, and they're doing it far better than how the governments were doing it earlier. In India, we are quite backward. I mean, everybody and anybody who was into the field knew about it. That governments were doing surveillance. I mean, they knew almost everything. It's now in public domain, so people have suddenly started thinking, "Oh, this is something very big." It is not big. It was always happening. Pegasus there or not Pegasus there. Our own agencies were doing with Mrs. Gandhi, like with Mr. Cow and setting up of RAW. What was the function of it? What was IB doing? What was CID doing for that matter? So all this information was always being connected, and the Telegraph Act is already there. So it could be done. Your telephone tapping was already there. Telephone cards were there, and not only in India, everywhere in the world it was happening. The only difference is now it has become like, you can go to the space. Earlier, only the cosmonauts and the astronauts go to the space. Now anybody and everybody can go to the space. So that information has come into public domain now. That's the only difference. From government's information, now it has come to corporates.
Okay.
That's all.
Vandanaji, the government and the corporates, what the government is doing, that should be or not, number one, and how the corporate is doing for their interest. We can't say the vested interest, what the interest of a company, just for the sake of the development, or for the sake of the strengthening their company. So that is issue. So how just you uh, comparative, the right to privacy, this phone tapping in America and as well as in India, how does you and cry from the different political parties against government?
Namaskar and good evening to everybody. First of all, I'm going to be means like ditto with Sarkarji when he said like we don't have any privacy, because either in today's time, who wants to live without a smartphone? It is a it's a use or an abuse, just a very big difference. Any bank, if you open an account, you want to do an online banking. Just a very simple example. The agreements they have, the legal documents they have, even if you want to open a Gmail account, the agreements they have like how many pages? Because they have a force of lawyers, those who write these kind of agreements. We don't. So what do? We go at end of the page and do I agree. I can bet you 99.99, no, 100% people don't read, don't have that kind of time, to be honest. We have given our consent, do whatever you want to. As they said, phone tapping, we all know that. Government doing to individuals on some cases for the safety of the nation, I can understand. The corporate, the IP addresses are very individual, right? That means if you search something, you will not believe it. Wherever I am, either I open a laptop, if I open my computer, or my open my phone, or I will keep seeing those advertisements. It keeps popping up as if Vandana has been looking for that. So privacy thing, no matter, because we are talking about camera installation, we don't even need to. In today's time, if I burp, they do know that I'm burping, to be honest. And then comes the artificial intelligence. Oh my God, that is, you open a Facebook, like somebody's post, and you want to comment on that. They know, they can read my mind. इतना तो कोई ज्योतिषी भी नहीं कर सकता जो आजकल AI कर रहा है. They know what Vandana is going to type. Means thank you, or wishing you happy anniversary and this and that. What the hell? I may not write it. मुझे नहीं उसको wish करना, but they are giving you suggestions. So what all these things are? We are very happy that I don't have to type. Like in general consequences, I just say HBD because you have more than 5,000 people. So 10-15 लोगों का तो रोज birthday होता है. I made it a point, like whosoever I know or I don't, I always wish them. This is a task in the morning. But some people say, why so short? They don't like that phrases, like why
Yeah,
HBD, can
yeah.
you write? So then it is a happy anniversary. Coming back to government versus, that is what your question is. If the government is doing for the sake of national security, I think this should be allowed, because we all know that what's happening worldwide. What is snooping? Everybody is snooping on each other, to be honest. Wife is doing on husband, husband is doing on wife, So, but to safeguard the nation, what we saw that in Bharat, to be very honest, let's go back to India. When there was a surgical strike, they were asking for proofs, the opposition party. Shame on them collectively, to be very honest. So they had to show it, but they knew it. So what are they doing? Signing MOUs with China. So if the government has no right to check on them, they must. Because you are living in this nation, the nation's interest should be far ahead than the interest of the neighboring country, which is the enemy of the whole world, to be honest. So, in my take, if it is the government doing on individuals or whatever, so it should not be having any problem. Individuals, we people don't have any privacy. So it be like we don't have any privacy. Nobody can have. The more apps you have, the more open you are. As Alok ji mentioned, Google, you want to go, and it always wants you to have your location on, like, cameras on. They keep seeing what we are doing. So, summing it up, for us, we have already compromised it. But one thing, there should be checks and balances. Europe is better than America, to be honest. Like, but if the more you are on social media, there is now they say the kids' pictures, like, the small little kids, they go to school. And if you are just
Yeah.
saying, oh, I am going to drop him to the school, so you are opening yourself to all those kind of problems. If tomorrow your kid has
Yeah.
been taken, you reach 5 minutes later on. So whose fault is that? Why do you have to tell? Like, why the hell Tamur is the before even he is born, he is all on social media. So everybody cannot have that kind of safety and security like the Tamur has it. So we should be careful ourselves. Thank you.
So I don't know why you call the name Tamur, who Tamir. I don't know. I don't want to know. So now Amish Shankarji. So how just Bandana ji discussed about the artificial intelligence and do you think nowadays at present we are just free from anything? Just I think someone watching you. There's a slogan we can understand. You are not nothing is private. Why and what for? How the
Rakesh,
other gains from this and what is the need of this?
Rakesh, first we have to understand that anyone, anywhere in the world, from America to
Amit
India,
ji,
from
just one
India
second.
to
You
Yes,
talk
please.
about the privacy thing. Just while talking, you started this, and I typed that subject of yours in today in Google. You can do it. The first thing comes is our program.
Oh my God.
Yes, first thing comes is on our program. That's what it is. The title I
so,
typed on Google, you
Yes.
guys can try it right now. I can show you
Oh
the
my
screen.
God. So
Thank
sharp.
you.
Oh, okay. Welcome. Amit, sorry. Yeah.
so what I was saying, from America to India, from Ghana to Bangladesh, snooping and surveillance firstly is not something new. And this whole hullabaloo about around this whole term is absolutely a waste of time, because we need to understand that anyone who has got this thing in his or her hand, this smartphone, he has opened the door to God knows how many apps and links and companies right inside their bedroom, living room, washroom, heart, mind, and soul. One. It's not about the government agencies is snooping on you and me. It is companies which we interact with every day. Companies like Google, companies like Facebook, companies like Twitter. They know far more about me and you than any government would ever care to know, right? You send a mail. If I send you a mail to Rakesh using Gmail, trust me, every single mail that transpires over Gmail server is stored somewhere on the server for a period of 10 long years. Any
Oh my God.
conversation that transpires between two mobile phone or two mobile towers, that is recorded somewhere and archived somewhere. And while you are having a conversation, it could be a conversation between me and you. If you use certain keywords which is inbuilt in the program, the law enforcing agencies will take some kind of action against you or me. The words could be terror or bomb or hawala. The words keep changing. If you open a Facebook account, and as Vanda ji was saying, I mean, we are in such a great haste and hurry to get onto our account or to get onto the app, that we just do I accept, I agree, without reading the God knows how many 5, 10 to 15 pages. So once you have pressed the button I agree, You have agreed to what? You have agreed to open your door to God knows how many companies. So if I crib out my privacy, oh, my privacy is supreme and no one has got no right to invade into my privacy. Boss, sorry, the times have changed, the paradigm have changed, and any guy with a smartphone or a Facebook account or a Twitter account has got no reason and has got no right to talk about privacy. If you really want to talk about the privacy, you have to go back some 20 years when you used to convey using a postcard or in land or there was landline phone only. Then snooping or and only. Nowadays, my phone number, my address, my age, my birthday, my anniversary, blah blah blah. It's not only with Google or Facebook. It's sitting with every goddamn single bank. Every goddamn single cake wala and pastry wala and chai wala and coffee wala. So कोई बाहर से आके कोई मेरी privacy में कुछ कर रहा है? No, no, no. This thing has been going on, and we all are the educated people. We know that this thing has been going on. So if Rahul Gandhi says, "Oh, someone is trying to get my info," hello, the nation and the world knows about you more than any government would like to know. So stop trying to just install the
Making the
parliament
fools.
को हैक किया. ये कोई किसी को हैक नहीं करता है, राइट? फेसबुक और गूगल हमको पहले से हैक कर चुका है, and they have all our data, our bank transaction, which hotel and which restaurant, which flight, which city, which friend. I mean, what more do we need to know? So I guess this is time where we take a step back and rule and take a new look at the entire gamut and paradigm of the word called privacy. And once we have defined what is pertinent in today's world, only then we can approach the part two, which is where the breach of privacy starts.
Okay. So breach of privacy start. How can save from this type of breach of privacy, and how can you just go ahead, and how the controversy and the latest controversy in India? Rakesh Tiwari ji,
Yes,
I
sir.
think, do you hear me?
I can hear you very well. Please ask
So
your
nice
question.
of your today's your net is very looks like is strong. Hopes to be.
Well, I hope so
we
too.
all are with you
Thank
with your proper network with the Prime Minister of Canada.
Yes,
So I think so.
I know. He watched the program. He knows now that he cannot mess up with my internet
So
anymore.
nice, so nice of you. So I think we're talking about the how just your PM and any officials or any person can watch you and on the mobile phone. This is time. And how Vandana ji said the artificial intelligence, Shivaji Sarkar said nothing is private now. How can you challenge? This is my private things. Although there is a right to privacy rules in every country and in India also. So how can you challenge? Do you have any options to challenge the right to privacy as well as this phone and mobile controversy now going on?
Well,
Rakesh Tiwari ji?
yes, sir. So let me say this: right to privacy is it become more and more. I will say it is required. It has to be protected with anything and everything, because it seems like everybody's trying to enter in your house. Your house is your phone, where your family lives there, when your children lives there, when your personal photographs, video, whatever could be, that's you and your thoughts, you and your ideas. So this has to be protected by all means, as long it is not in a criminal nature. Okay, and how it can be defined and how it can be detected and what not could be, that's a different matter altogether for the law and enforcement agencies and the judiciary. But my submission is this, that my privacy is my privacy, and no government, no state, no corporate has the right, as long if I'm giving that permission, that is different. And even with the limited portion I'm giving the permission. So, well, let me say this: I deal with I have my most of electronics gadgets
From your input, I am giving question. From actually the giving some inputs for you, what you were just saying. Nothing. It is under your control. Whatever privacy is there. what
Yeah,
Amit Shankar is saying, are you saying? Just I'm putting
yeah,
question
I'm coming.
yeah,
Yeah,
with
sure.
your with your inputs, with your
Yes,
inputs.
yeah, sure.
So
Let me say
how we
this.
can see we are just all the things and the private and according to our thoughts and according to
Let me
our
say this.
yeah. Please,
So let me
please,
say this.
please.
Uh, See, in this house where I'm living right now, I have a blinds and I have a window, which is a glass window. The moment I put it down, and if I open all the window, anybody and everybody can see it. And when I put the windscreen on, even the people can hear it. Okay. The moment when I want to close it, I close it, and nobody can enter, nobody can hear, nobody can do anything. That's my privacy. That's my privacy. I was giving you a very practical example of a one giant corporate in the world. That's Apple. So in USA and Canada, in Western world, in my understanding, privacy laws and privacy of a citizen is very much cared, and at least it appears to. So when an Apple advisor comes to, and when he talks, and when he try to take see what is happening or trying to help me and to fix it, they overly verbally they give my rights. They said we will not do this anytime. It is in your control. Whenever you want to stop it, you can everything. You are there in your privacy, and you can control it yourself. You whenever you want to turn them off, you can turn them off. If somebody's by stealing, by this way or that way trying to hack it, that's called that's being a the criminal act. It's like my doors are open, but somebody try to break the door, break the lock, or know the lock, and they try to enter it. That's without my knowledge, without my permission. So indeed, I'm in 100% support of privacy laws, and they should be more stricter. Any corporate, anybody who try to violate it, they should deal with stricter punishment. Okay, and but we cannot allow this, that in general, oh, now nothing can be private, everybody knows about. No, son, no, you don't know. Okay, nobody. And if somebody try to take away my privacy, I will take the person to the last limit of it. That's what how much I believe it.
Very nice, very nice, Tiwariji.
Yeah.
But just if you are very strict about laws and whatever, everyone who has a panelist in the
Privacy law.
country,
We are talking about privacy
yeah,
law.
yeah. So nobody will just try to interfere in the zone. Okay, but Shivaji Sarkar, how just Rakesh Tiwari ji said, "Ki, will not allow and will they take to the nation and whatever they can
Yeah, I have to.
until Shivaji Sarkar, without info, if you don't know how your phone is going to tap and how you have been hacked indirectly, then what will you do? Shivaji
We
Sarkar,
don't
just
know.
I'll take the answer, Shivaji Sarkar, from your question. Shivaji, please.
You see, there is one thing that has happened during the last 30 years.
Yeah, yeah,
This just individual privacy has been gradually penetrated and eroded.
Agree.
When you
Agree.
liberalized, you forgot, and some of the very intelligent politicians, I would say, the first thing they did is to end the MRTPC law, the
yeah,
Monopolies and Restricted Trade Practices law. The competition law is virtually no law at all. It doesn't prevent anything. MRTPC was a very strong law that way. It could not snoop into even another corporate. But we have devastated that. And our politicians said, and I can tell the name, that time the minister was Pramod Mahajan, he said, आज के ज़माने में इसकी कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है. And that is where the devastation began. And that is what exactly the global corporate wanted. You see, if you go into the corporate history of the US and other multinational companies, since 60s, they have been protesting about the national sovereignties. They said we work beyond the geographical boundaries. So how can we accept any individual country's sovereignty? It is corporate sovereignty. This concept of corporate sovereignty that is there, that virtually made a gold mine of information. They're snooping into your all information and they're selling it and they're making tons of money. You think Microsoft, what is the business of Microsoft? This data mining.
yeah.
Most IT companies, they are doing data mining. Now, no, Rakesh, there is one special issue now. Now the issue has come up. Pegasus has done one good thing. It has virtually shaken every individual. That is the good part of the Pegasus I see.
I
But
agree.
yeah, so now we need a very strong law. Like MRTPC is rather stronger than that. And why should Google want to know where I am going? Or anybody for that matter?
Yeah.
Why should Ola need
Yeah.
to have a location for me? So these are the things that has to be. Now governments are creating nonsense of many laws every day. But now we need a law that has to stop this kind of snooping that is continuously on, and not only yours only. They're snooping into the privacy of young girls and young children. And that is very dangerous.
Can I interject for a second?
Sure, please.
Okay.
Yes.
The corporates, they always give that example because they want to know the location from where you are logging in, because they said, well, that's their business. That's how they make money. So the making of money is that if I'm logging in from Brampton, so the related business will, I will see the advertisement and those things will come. So they're saying that this is our business. That's how we make money. So that's why they want to know the location. So and again, if you don't want to, if you don't want to allow them, you say, I don't allow them. I don't allow you. Simple as that.
That's the question.
No, I think
That's
it is
the
not
question.
that simple that you don't allow them and it will just stop. It is not like that. The
Yes,
issue
that is the point. That is the point.
No,
Yeah.
just a minute, Rakesh. If you want
Yeah.
to stop them, you demand that whatever you are earning from my snooping, pay me back as bonuses to me every time. Then possibly it will be a check on the corporate. If you want to use the law.
Well, my simple argument will be this. Definitely, I'm 100% with you, sir. Okay, Shivaji Sarkar. That definitely there should be stricter law against the corporations because they are a giant, and their power should be checked always in favor of privacy and public in general. Definitely, because they are very powerful. They control government, they control all the resources, and if they are doing such things, they should be dealt with a stricter punishment as it is getting done in US. I'm very sorry to say that that current government dispensation where Ravi Shankar Prasad was a telecommunication minister and whatnot, the moment means that's the picture we got it, that's what I understood it, that he tried to loggerhead with Twitter, and next thing he's out of his business. He's
No,
out of
sorry.
work.
No.
But
Actually,
that's what it
no,
appears
no,
to me.
no,
No.
As a common person,
no,
maybe that's not the truth. Maybe that's not the truth.
No.
But
This is
within a
not
week of
this
time,
is
he's
not
gone.
Rakesh Tiwari ji. This
Yes,
is
sir.
not truth. You
What?
are just wrong. You are wrongly quoting. This is maybe your perception, but this is not a fact. Whatever your perception. So I'll take Alok ji. Whatever you just try to
Oh,
implicate,
you
that
can
is
put
not a
the
fact.
facts before me. I will
No,
appreciate.
no, I'll put the fact, but that is a Twitter issue. What is different one? How the Twitter or other American companies doing? Everybody is aware of that. How
But
just
Ravi Shankar Prasad as a telecommunication minister was out.
sir, that was a different issue. That was not the
Okay.
Twitter issue.
Well, it appears to me as a common person.
Again, I am telling you.
Okay.
I know the governance. I know the
Well, seems like yes.
my
That I-
caste is
that-
my
that I
caste
agree
is
with you.
reporter, sir. My
You are running a
my
global
prime
governance,
caste is
so
a
you must be knowing a
reporter.
bit.
So that I'm telling you.
Okay.
So Alok ji, how just he trying to be? I think Rakesh Tiwari ji is so overconfident about his whatever he is saying. Everything is protected. His privacy
Not
is
protected.
protected.
I'll fight
Sir,
for it.
please,
If
please,
somebody
please.
want to
Sir,
take my privacy.
I'm just taking the question from your whatever you just share your view. I'm just trying to take out the question from that. I talking to Alok ji, then Amit ji. So I just talking to also USA, then Bandana ji also. Alok ji, how and why Rakesh Tiwari ji is type person, not Rakesh Tiwari ji. Whatever he has mind, whatever he has read theoretically. But do you think this is theoretical approach is just applying day by day affairs nowadays? In the terms of snooping, in the terms of recording, in terms of the location and data mining? Alok ji.
So if it is being, first of all, like let me continue with where Tiwari ji left. I mean, this is true that there was a tussle between Twitter and our minister, but the minister did not leave because of this. I mean,
Yeah,
it is something like saying Twitter has banned the account of a president of United States for
yeah.
lifetime. Nothing has happened.
So
Now,
timing.
I think in
No,
India,
sir.
there is a law
You
and they
can
have
only
come down on
only
their
can
rules.
relate, sir. Timing is
So,
coincidental. I think, yeah.
okay,
Please.
and Twitter is not the topic for today. I'm just
Yeah,
continuing
yeah,
with what
yeah,
he's saying. The
sir.
you know what Tiwari says is not 100% incorrect. I mean, I have I have a right to my privacy. Like he said, if I open the doors, if I open the curtain, then anybody walking on the street can see me. But if I pull down the blinds or I close the curtain, then obviously it becomes my privacy. So your location is there. You share it with Google. The moment you put the location off, suddenly you get a window opening that you have, and certain services would not be provided to you, and all this. So obviously, and the data mining, when it is done, for example, Google, you help Google classify your, you have to tell them this is spam or this is not spam. But the whole concept of robbing your information, your private information, maybe you decided to share it with Apple or with Google or whatever happens, that's a different story. Then you
Robbing
are
is a good
giving
word.
away your
Yeah,
rights.
yeah,
You are
yeah.
giving away your rights. But if somebody enters your system without your knowing it, then
Yes.
it becomes a different issue altogether. Now, if you're talking about Pegasus or NSO Pegasus, the whole concept comes in because Microsoft, in once upon a time, they made a software called Back Office, and there was a security issue with Windows. So there was a company which made a program called Back Orifice. I mean, I hope you get the point. Back Office to Back Orifice, and with that, they could get into your system and control your system. Now, that is where hacking comes in. This is the concept of hacking. What Pegasus is doing, it is doing the same thing, but there are certain things like this, whole thing which comes down. It starts off with forbidden stories, which talks to amnesty. Then now you have to, they're talking about Le Monde is doing it. The Guardian has, published a report, or the Washington Post is. By the way, you know who Washington Post owner is? It's Jeff Bezos, and then his pictures were released out, and that's how his divorce happened, and he had to give lakhs of, you know. So that's why this whole thing becomes very important. Now, what is more important is, I mean, I was just trying to analyze what has happened. They are saying that there are countries like Mexico, India, Morocco, Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, Saudi Arabia,
Uzbekistan. Yeah,
Bahrain,
yeah.
UAE, Hungary, Rwanda. These are the countries where democracy is in, it's in
It
danger.
is start. Yeah,
Come
it is
on.
text.
I mean, look at the list. By God, for God's sake, I mean, leave aside Mexico or India. How many of these are real democracies? I mean, let's face fact. America has been using it. It's on record that America was using the program and they were snooping on Merkel. Right now, in Le Monde, the question is that Macron's account had, this
Yeah,
software,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
it
Also,
was stuck
Macron also
inside.
reacted on this issue. A French
No,
person.
the
Yeah.
strangest thing is the words used are allegedly, probably, and may, and there is nowhere there is a proof. Now let's analyze it a little. Let's also do some data churning. The list which has been given out by Forbidden Stories, which by the way is a left-oriented, France-based, portal, which is run by um, these journalists without borders. Like we have Doctors Without Border, it runs it. And they said like the data they have is about 50,000. Out of this 150, no, 1,500 they took out. Out of those 300, they shortlisted, they could identify 300 people, out of which on 66, they did a query. How did they do the query? They picked up the phone and said, please, they talked to Siddharth of the print. I mean, he's the most important journalist in India we have, and that's what the government is thinking about. And they said, can we, by distance from France to, India, they connected it. and they tested his mobile, and it was found that he had some traces. The stupidest thing of this whole episode, you all know about it. We have been listening to it on all radio channels or on news channels or wherever. You know, the two methods, the big thing is it can be on your Apple phone, it can be on your Android phone, but strangely, Apple has not said anything. They
Yeah.
are not saying that our system is so vulnerable. Android is not saying that our system is vulnerable. Everybody else is saying. Suddenly, democracy all over the world is in danger. Which is kind of very strange, because you pop up certain things like democracy is under threat, personal liberties, freedom of press. When did India stop any kind of freedom of press? That's the question. I think the discussion should be going in this direction rather than we talking about, security laws right now. European security laws by far are the biggest, like the most strongest laws. And even then, Merkel's phone was trapped. Macron's phone was trapped. So it doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. So we should take it in this direction, and from there we'll keep working on this issue.
Okay,
Let's see
thank you.
what
Okay.
Shankarji has to say, or Vannaji has to say.
Vandanaji, yeah, how just elaborate Alokji, how the discussion is going on, what are the Pegasus doing, and
Rakesh,
other yeah, please,
Rakesh,
Sivaji,
30
Sivaji,
seconds
please,
just.
please,
You
please, please.
see, I think we are discussing the good things, but one thing we need to discuss is the way this kind of snooping is happening from all the corners, and you are not safe in that way as a family, as an individual, as a citizen, anyway. And everybody is doing it now. If we need to stop it, what kind of laws we need to have? Because unless and until we have proper laws, and that doesn't snoop into your phones, snoop into your any kind of
You are
activity,
talking about the Indian laws. Okay, am I
Indian
right?
or global, doesn't make much of a difference now. Global
Yeah.
laws and Indian laws, they have to be in tune with each other.
So according to your thoughts, inputs, there need to be the global law on this data mining and the whatever is snooping. Vandanaji.
Everywhere it has to be. There has to be WTO law also on this. There has to be
Yeah,
national laws on it.
yeah.
If you
That
quote a
nice.
man, it is
And
breaking
so
the law
far,
anyway.
This is a
so far
nice question.
government, so far nobody is thinking on those lines. No government
No,
is
no, no.
thinking.
Government
Government
is
doesn't
very
want
much
it actually.
thinking. I'm sorry to interrupt. Government is thinking of those laws. We are working on those laws. Europe is already in place, but the laws will not work here. The
The
laws
law
will
will not
not
work.
work here.
Yeah.
You have a program which has been put into your system. How it is put onto your system is your fault, because in some place you said yes, or maybe there is some mechanism that the message doesn't even show, and they have installed that program onto
Okay,
your system.
Vandanaji.
Excuse me,
Vandanaji.
Mr. Alok, I slightly differ with you on this.
Yeah, the laws
Yes,
will not help you there.
no. I may download a particular app or any kind of system, but why should it have a system of snooping in it? That is,
No,
I
no, no, no.
believe, against
But
the
That is
law, and
different
the
understand
question.
very
policing
right
everything.
thing. You have to understand technology here. It is the back orifice. You are not giving it permission. It is just,
That
it's
is
kind of a worm there which
No,
comes in there. So it
Alokji,
is,
Alokji, Sivaji, you are the same line, but
yeah,
it's
but
little,
laws will not protect you from these kind of programs
no,
because they are illegal programs. That is the black
yeah,
web. We're
that is
talking
the
about the
point.
black web.
I agree. I agree
Vandanaji,
with you.
how you relate to the USA and how Sivaji said and Alok said, yeah, there should be some law, global law as well as the country law is already there. That should be strengthened for the protect of privacy, as Rakesh Tiwari said.
As we know, because these devices or the technology, it comes to make your life more easy. Earlier, you used to remember the phone numbers, right? To dial. We had a very good memory. I remember that I used to remember, like in India, there was 10 digits. But do I remember? I remember only very few of it. Now it is
Wipe
one,
off. Yeah.
yeah. So it is one single dial. Like you just do one rings here, two rings here, three rings here. So on the concept of like that, we want to have a convenience, We want to simplify, but we are compromising to the context, knowingly or unknowingly. Because when it is very easy, we adapt it very soon. But when it impacts, it may not be impacting the whole 7 billion people. But if it is impacting even 150,000 people, when we're talking about the child pornography and child kidnapping and, those kind of things. So those people, then they get very well aware. But is it the role and responsibility? There comes the social stigma also, where the social organizations have to come. We do have a lot of senior people, those who are every day, means like I do get calls. Oh, we got a call from IRS. They were claiming that I have not paid my tax. So they want me, otherwise they will put me in the jail. This I am talking right here in United
Yes.
States of America. Just
Yes.
listen to this. This is very interesting. And they tell you, you cannot disconnect the phone. And they will be forcing you, because there will be so much terror in their voice, because a simple man who's like 85, they migrated at the age of 65, 70 as a family immigrant. So they are not, kids are not home, or kids don't even bother about that. So the parents, but they are getting some income. So they will say, you have to go, get out right now. They go out. You have to take out the money from, they stay on the phone. You go, get the money cash, and go to this Western Union and transfer it to us. Otherwise, we have a warrant for you. We are coming to arrest. Your husband will be in the jail, and this and that nonsense. All.
Okay.
Somebody shelled out $7,000. I personally know them. And I have done so many stories on that. In a Costco store, I go, the woman is crying. दीदी मेरा $2,500 चला गया. मैंने कहा मेरा husband, मैंने कहा I have done so much on you to educate. Then what happens? Because here it is a responsibility. You gave phones to the parents, but you didn't tell them. You are not supposed to give your social security number. Nobody is going to ask you that. So this is again a responsibility, moral from the family, social from the organizations, to tell them what is an use and an abuse. आप अपना एड्रेस बताते हैं, कोई क्यों पूछेगा? कोई बैंक वाला आपसे आपका एसएस नंबर नहीं पूछता. So that is what where it is, because we have already Rakesh
but
Tiwari ji,
but
I just want to say, because you must be having a Facebook account, to be honest. Means I'm just simply saying. So when we're posting all these kind of things, how many people, how many, that Mark Zuckerberg claims himself that he has so many people, how many people can define within those terms that this post is only for certain group of people, this post is public, or this post can be
yeah,
seen by friends. We are
yeah.
not aware of that, because there is no education. Like you go to school to learn, but there was no schooling given, no teaching given how to use the social media. So
But
that is
here,
why.
yeah. So Bandana ji, just you are putting the in the whatever manner just you are discussing. We are discussing the snooping, the political region and the private region and corporate region.
There
Yeah.
should be a snooping on George Soros. There should, if there would not have been snooping on the toolkit for this farmers law, कैसे पता नहीं चलता फिर? Because ये कहाँ वो तुम्हारी जो है Greta Thunder, साला बात करना नहीं आता, and she's talking about that. So that kind of snooping be there. There has to be, because that was for the interest of the nation.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
No, Rakesh,
Amit Shankar ji. Just I'll take
Rakesh,
Amit Shankar ji, then I'll talk to you.
Rakesh,
Please, please,
very small
please,
thing.
please,
Just to add to
please,
what Bandhanali said. In
please.
India, all private insurance companies, they are continuously doing this kind of virtual data loot, not data looting, money looting through this kind of phone activities.
All private
And
companies. Why the insurance
no,
companies?
insurance
Most of
companies,
the
they
companies.
have become a menace. There are criminal. They are against them. There are criminal cases against them. So these are the things that are happening because of the lack of a proper and strong privacy laws.
Yeah. So, Amit Shankar, do you think that India has to be the strong privacy law as the recently 2 and 3 laws are already made? But do you think there is more strict about the law, number one, and why the Congress and other opposition party making huikra against the government? They have done spread the Pegasus spyware.
Rakesh, since ages, since the time of Jawaharlal Nehru to Indira Gandhi to Vajpayee ji to Manmohan Singh. I mean, so surveillance and snooping is a form of a way to keep eye on the people. It could be the other
Opposition.
political parties or opposition or journalists who are not with you, and then the list goes on and on. So, firstly, it's not something which has happened for the first time. Oh, we knew of all of it, right? And we all know that surveillance and data mining is the primary tool of any secret service agency. So from IB to RAW, they use what? They use the data, and the data they get from where? Through your phone and through your mails and through your social media account. I'm sure that you would be knowing that in Mayur Vihar there is a small office of RAW which is used to get random letters from the letter boxes, and these letters are opened, they are read, and they are packed, and they are sent back again. So that's the kind of data sampling which every government across the world does, because that forms a large pool of the intel which they work on. One. Two is, we might say that, oh, this the company got our data, or this the company got it. The point is, if you are doing online shopping, you would key in your name, your address, and your phone number, and any data which you put on the world wide web. We all know that it is exposed out to 1 million unscrupulous users which are there to hack your data. And that's the reason why we keep getting these calls from bank, ki loan le lo, ya policy le lo, and the list goes on and on and on and on. Point number three is, we might sit here and debate till end of the day, but if you are on a smartphone, if you are on social media, there is
Yeah.
no way. And when I say no way, there is no way you can stop from being traced or tracked. Once you have
Yeah.
said, I agree, you have given a blanket permission to Google or Facebook, and you trust me, most
In the
of these
term of the agreement, yeah, you're right.
and
Telephone
most of these
companies.
hackings and malware or spyware, they come from where? They come from gaming apps. Like you keep getting these apps on Facebook, you like, and then you get some heart and blah blah blah. So all these malwares, they come from these small software or gameware, which we never ever bother to read the terms and conditions. We just press accept, and the moment we press accept, we are exposed. So as long there is a social media and there's a smartphone, we all sit here exposed. And going back to what Ramnaji and Alokji has said, it's time to educate the people in masses at large that what could it mean if you're
Coming
sharing
to Rakesh Tiwari, I'm coming to you. Yeah.
your OTP or your social security number, what needs to be shared and what you need to be careful about. Like I find this very silly. I mean, remember back in our days and our times, we used to
Till,
have a
till
family
today,
album,
yeah.
right?
Till today,
But
I am so scared of the internet banking.
today, we keep putting all our pictures online, right?
Yeah.
So I can log onto your Facebook account and I can map your entire family tree. Who is your wife? Who is your son? Who is your
Yeah,
dad,
yeah,
your brother, your uncle, your aunt? Entire family tree. And
yeah,
then
yeah.
if you are crying, oh, mera data hack ho gaya, hello. Firstly, you have put your data on the World Wide Web, and anything which is on World Wide Web cannot be secure. So that's my point.
So nice. Tiwari ji.
Well, let me say this. I think in today's world, when we are in a transitioning, I will say, mood situation, where we are, crossing the, I will say, paper era to the electronic era. So now, day by day, we are using less and less paper. Now we are electronic signature is becoming now.
Sir, please excuse me. I'm putting the direct question. We're running the time only. We have already running 7 minutes late. So,
You did not put the question. That's why I started where I left.
I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry for that.
That's okay.
So,
Okay.
the last
Apology
question
granted.
to the all panelists. Do you think that the new controversy in India is really the valid and the authentic whatever they are trying to allege the Modi government.
What do you mean by that new controversy?
Pegasus.
Pegasus. So, okay, in terms of Pegasus, let me say
Very
this.
sorry, sir. Straight question, straight answer.
Sir, I'm answering a straight question, but as straight it can be. But,
Sir, time, sir. Please, we have to.
but don't be Karna Goswami. He doesn't even let anybody speak.
Sir, my name is
Don't
Kumar
be.
Rakesh. Sir,
Yes,
my
so
name
be
is
Kumar Rakesh. Sir,
Please.
let me speak. You have taken my 1 minute.
So
Just
please,
by saying that,
please.
okay, again, if I say again, you're gonna
Please,
say. So
please,
just leave it
please,
there. Okay.
please.
I stopped watching his program. Okay, but for that sake, because he doesn't let anybody speak. But you're a nicer person. I know that. I respect you. That you're a good friend.
So nice
Okay.
of you.
Let me come back to the Pegasus.
Yeah.
In my conspiracy theory, this whole damn thing is planned. That so Pegasus can be sold to the worldwide nations. How about that so? Because I did not know about the Pegasus. Maybe it is true or not. But now all the government, they know now we can do this. Hey, we can snoop our opposition leaders and everybody. Wow, this is good. And only the governments can buy. Only the governments can buy. So that's one more sales and marketing tool. And as a recently, I'll give one example. I was shocked when everybody was attacking Baba Ramdev and he was trying to defend himself. His business went 200 times up. Even negative publicity was a positive for him because everybody was thinking about it and buying it. So while we are talking about the Pegasus is getting sold for millions and millions. That's number one point. The another thing is that I am totally 100% with Shivaji Sarkar, Alok Ladji too as well, that we need a global privacy laws, and that should be treated very harshly anybody who try to cross it. There should be criminal charges towards it without my permission. If by any means you try to hackle, you try to get into my phone on my computer,
On
my
software.
laptop, anyway. That's what is supposed. We need more stricter privacy
Thank you, sir.
laws
Thank you.
for the common
So
person
nice.
to everybody.
Thank you, sir. So
Thank
nice.
you.
Alokji.
Okay, what I like to, for concluding remarks kind of a thing,
Yeah,
we are
yeah.
getting confused between consented compromise of privacy, which we do with Google and other programs. We're confusing between phishing and then hacking your personal information, which could be done by a program like NSO Pegasus. Having said that, I think the controversy in India right now, it has got George Soros written all over it. He lost $1 billion when President Trump came to power. And since Modi ji was always supporting Trump, and if you join the connection between all these, associations and the people who are, making noise in India, you will see that somehow and some way they are connected with the Open Society Foundation. That's all I want to say. And this has got lots of homework to do for our viewers. They can Google it and they'll find more information. Thank you.
Amit ji.
I fully agree with Mr. Alok's point of view, and he has said exactly the same thing which I wanted to say. This is the very broad-based conspiracy hashed against the Modi government by certain vested interests only to set the political score right. Thank you.
Vandana ji.
Yes, Alokji said it right. But why this goes that far? So that kind of law is also there. If proven wrong, there should be a penalty. Like Rafale. All the media was talking. Nothing came out. What was the penalty? Those who were screaming in the Parliament House. Parliament House is not meant to scream all these kind of things, waste taxpayers' money. So that is also needed. Thank you.
Okay.
Well, that went with the Bofors too as well.
Shivaji Sarkar. Sir, please. Tiwari.
Nobody's behind the bar. Sorry.
Shivaji Sarkar. Concluding remarks.
You see, I think it has been very unwise of the government to use this kind of software for snooping. I don't think they should have done it. They already have all the information even otherwise. So it was all other governments are doing, so we are also doing. So what's wrong in it? I think this approach of any government is not very correct. Second thing is, I don't agree with the Vandana ji that parliament is not the place to create noise. It is the place to create noise and have dialogue. Because if we don't do it there, should we do it on the streets? So there I don't agree. Whatever the opposition is doing, you may agree or not. I think what they are doing is different kinds of voices from different parts of the country are being heard in parliament. That much is correct. But yes, Pegasus, of course, I do not agree personally.
Shivaji,
Okay.
I just said that if they make noise which has no relevance and is proven wrong, so there should be a penalty also for that.
Yeah.
That's what I
No,
meant.
madam. No,
Okay.
madam. Parliamentary laws have been made like that, and
No, no, no,
that
no.
is called the clause
Shivaji,
on the law. Clause
Shivaji,
on
that
the
is
law
her.
protects
No,
anything that is said
she,
in parliament.
no, no. She is sitting in America, and that is her perception about the
No, no,
in India system. This is
I'm not questioning her perception, but I'm only differing with it.
yeah. Alok, something want to add?
Yes,
Very quick.
I would not agree with Mr. Sarkar at all. He's kind of blamed the government that why the government has done it. Even the people who have published this report, they are not saying this. They are not even saying that the numbers which are there, if there was some snooping done on that. So I think that is pointing a finger without having a proof, and this is what everybody else is doing. So let's not do it here, because there
Okay.
should be something very solid to be pointing a finger at the government. I
Yes,
feel
NS,
Thank you.
when I
Thank,
said
thank,
God saw is written over it, I think I spoke
thanks
more
to
than I
thanks
should
to
have,
all.
and
Thanks to all.
everything
Yeah,
is
Mr.
clear.
Alok, NSO has said that they have sold it only to the government.
sir.
They
Sir,
have
this
said
is
this. They
sir.
have said
This
this.
is
I am not even sure that they actually, what Tiwari ji said was this, that maybe it is a prank to sell it to the governments. Have they said
okay.
that they have sold it
I,
to
Mr.
Actually,
Alok,
they
I,
have sold it to
facts.
India?
I
They have
also
not.
said the
They
same
have
thing.
not.
I said it was not wise on the part of the government to have it.
No, no, they don't even, they have not said anywhere on record, Mr. Sarkar, that they have sold it to any of these governments, including
Yeah,
India.
that, that is
There is
fact.
Well,
nowhere on. They are putting a case
let him to
against the
disagree.
rest. So please use your
And
words with what you care.
government of India also said that they had not just bought any of this type of SYR. This is a
You
matter
are
of
so
record
sure
also.
of yourself that not even,
Yeah.
forbidden stories or amnesty is so sure. So this is what I want to stop.
Okay, so nice of all of you. Just we discuss the effect of snooping. I already have seen the India and other parts of the world also, and how the impact of the global politics also, and the rights of privacy should be maintained. But one very good thing came out of the discussion, and very nicely, and a global privacy law should be made either from the United Nations, from the European Union, and from the adopted law as the United Nations, and applied on the all the state for the protect of the privacy of the person or country. So nice of you, and thanks to you, just you here and attended our program and discussed all the related issue on that. Thanks to Amit Shankar, Alok Laharji, Vandanaji, Rakesh Tiwari and Sivaj Sarkarji. So I think take
Thank you.
a thoughts from here. The global privacy law should be made in the interest of the humanity and as well as the proper effective governance. Thank you and welcome the Global Governance TV. Please watch, share, and just promote as you can for our national movement of the media and with the Global Governance TV. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Jai Hind.
Yes.